Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So, Muhammad reviewed session 3, which brought us up to the last portion of Al-Fatiha. So we began session 4 with Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim, commonly translated as guide us upon the straight path. So we discussed how to view Islam as the shortest and easiest path, the middle path, or think of the quickest way to get from point A to point B being a straight line, right? Now that straight line may not be the easiest path, though. We view Islam not as, if we view it as it being difficult and hard, then it will become difficult and hard for it. If we view it as the easier way, it becomes easier for us to do. So this is the fundamental way to think of this in a healthy manner. So ihdina, guide us, on as-sirat, the path, al-mustaqim, that is the path of ease. So we talked about the hadith of, now I hope my notes aren't getting mixed up, because I have here that we talked about the Prophet said that this world is like a prison to the believer, and the hereafter is the opposite of prison, or you get closer to right? So
the unprison.
yes. Oh no. So because we said the unprison. So okay, this is what we talked about. How Ali.
So it's a prison for the
believer and paradise for the disbeliever in this world.
In this world, yeah.
And the hereafter is the opposite. Is paradise for the believer and prison for the disbeliever. And it was Ali radiallahu anhu who commented on this later, that said this world is a prison because it's difficult for the believer to attain closeness with Allah, whereas this is Jannah for the disbeliever. This is the best that it's going to get for the disbeliever. So, in talking about Sirat al-Mustaqim, the path, right? Regarding this path, the next ayah describes the path. غير المغضوب عليهم I'm sorry, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم, the path the path of those upon whom God has favored. And so we talked about, has there been anyone in the history of humanity whom God has not favored in some way? And of course the answer is no. So doesn't this then apply to everybody? And in going to the next verse where we say, غَيْرَ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ, those upon whom the anger is upon, we talked about how if you see this world as with a lens of ingratitude, then you see everything from God as not being a favor. You see it as difficulty, right? So anger we see is a result of ingratitude, right? And these two, this ayah highlights that, what do you say, the two sides of the coin. And the third thing in this ayah is, nor those who have gone astray, what ad-dhalin, right? So we talked about what ad-dhalin is. Those who have gone astray as those who are well-intentioned, like followers, like how Christians are sincerely trying to follow God, but they have been led in the wrong direction by their leaders and scholars, I guess. Okay, I butchered that one. Now,
self-critique there.
yes. So, in talking about the path, we moved to Surah An-Nisa, which is the fourth surah, ayah 68. Talk about the four people who are on the path. Number one, the Nabiyyin, the prophets, right? So prophethood is closed and sealed. So that's not available to us. Number two, Siddiqeen, Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu being the prime example. Those who recognize truth and immediately accept it, right, without reservation, because it's apparent to them. Ash-shuhada, which is commonly translated as the martyrs, those who bear witness to truth with paying the ultimate sacrifice with their bodies, with their worldly life. And as-salihin, those who demonstrate perfect character, of such perfect character that it infects others in a positive way. So, if you see someone representing these qualities, put yourself in the company of these people, right? Okay, one point I left out, which is very important. When we say غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ, we talk about the anger of Allah. Now, in the adab, or the etiquette, when talking about Allah, we don't attribute the bad to Allah. Even though all comes from Allah, we don't say it in the manner which we say that God creates bad, right? We say that God allows bad to happen, allows evil to happen. God allows anger to come from certain things which are a result of our choices, right? So when we say min sharri ma khalaq in Surah Al-Falaq, Allah says the evil which comes from His creation, right? Which by definition comes from Allah, but it's a result of the choices of His creation. This is just one way, an adab, which how we refer to Allah. So that ends Surah Al-Fatiha, I believe, and we're going to move on to Surah Al-Baqarah now.
Okay,
Thank you.
just one quick point.
Yes, sir.
For people who are on the straight path, before that the passage says, those who obey Allah and His message.